Egyptians headed to the polls as voting began in a presidential election in which President Abdel Fattah El-Sissi faces no serious challenger. That's despite the country's ongoing economic crisis, with around 30% of its 104 million population living in poverty, and that's according to official figures. The vote comes as Israeli ground forces expand their operation in southern Gaza, ordering Palestinians to evacuate and head to the Mediterranean coast or closer to Egyptian border. Here's a report.
Patriotic songs played on a loop as polling stations opened in Cairo, where pictures of Sisi proliferated in the weeks leading up to the election. Riot police were deployed at the entrances to Tahrir Square in the capital center. Critics see the election as a sham after a decade-long crackdown on dissent. The government's media body has called it a step towards political pluralism.
I don't think of my future. I think of the future of my grandchildren. I wish for them to live in peace, security, and to have a good life, good education, and good healthcare. This is what I wish for them, and God willing, this will happen.
The presidential election is set to hand Abdel Fattah El-Sissi a third term in power. If Sisi wins a new 6-year term, his immediate priorities would be taming near-record inflation, managing a chronic foreign currency shortage, and preventing spillover from the conflict between Israel and Gaza's Hamas rulers. 3 candidates who qualified to stand against Sisi are low-profile figures muted in their criticism of his record. Among them are 2 presidential candidates, Hazem Omar and Abdel Sanad Yamama, who cast their ballots with hopes of changing the tide in the North African nation.
I
am happy with what I saw in front of the polling station, and I want to say to all those people who support me or even oppose me, what you want will not happen unless you participate, and God would make the one who deserves it win.
It's a scene that makes you happy and satisfied that there is popular turnout and keenness on democratic participation in the most important written entitlement to choose a presidential candidate for a coming period. God willing, my greetings to you.
Egyptians in North Sinai also participated in the voting. They are choosing Sisi for his role in uprooting terrorism in North Sinai.
First of all, the achievements. We have lived through a period of brutal terrorism in our governorate. Of course, the president has made great stances and with the help of the armed forces has uprooted terrorism, and we started living in peace and security. If it weren't for the president and the armed forces, we wouldn't have stood here today and voted. We have to pay him back.
As army chief, Sisi led the 2013 ousting of Egypt's first democratically elected president, Mohamed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood, before winning the presidency the following year with 97% of the vote. He secured the same margin of victory in 2018. Sisi has overseen a crackdown that has swept aside liberal and leftist activists as well as Islamists. Rights groups say tens of thousands have been jailed. The election is held in the shadow of the nearby war in the Gaza Strip, despite growing unease about the country's economic performance. Egypt's fast-growing population of 104 million is struggling with soaring prices and other economic pressures. Some people have complained that the state has prioritized costly mega projects while taking on more debt. Scheduled power cuts linked to reduced gas supplies have been suspended during voting days. The election campaign has been low-key, with Sisi following a typical program of opening an arms trade fair and sitting in on examinations for candidates to join military and police academies in the week ahead of the vote. Some analysts say the election, originally expected in early 2024, was brought forward so economic changes, including devaluation of an already weakened currency, could be implemented afterwards.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.